Hello, ministry partners. It is late October. We're approaching Halloween. Not sure what that's going to look like for all of you guys in COVID season, but nonetheless, it's approaching. We're excited to update you guys on what's been going on in life and ministry here at U of I.
Yes. Can I touch it?
Well, since you've already been
Can
touching.
we pet it? Don't go in the street, little toad.
We have a lot to update you on. We have a big life update and also a lot of cool things the Lord is doing in ministry. So I think the best place to start is to start with our fall retreat that we had earlier this month in October. But before we do that, we actually have to share our big life update because the two are very much interconnected.
I know what you're thinking. No, we're not pregnant.
So basically, in mid to late spring, Brooke and I are actually going to be moving. We are going to be moving from one corner of town to just outside the other corner of town. And we're going to end up just outside of town on the northeast corner of Urbana. So we will be out in the country. Brooke and I are small town kind of country people. We are thrilled to be moving out there. We're going to basically have more space, and even we're going to have more space to do ministry and ministry events, which brings us to Fall Getaway. With COVID restrictions, the idea of going to an overnight multi-day camp is just unfortunately not doable. So instead, we planned a one-day event that we held at our new place outside of town in Urbana. It was such a blessing to be out there for our event. We're one of the few crew movements across the country who were able even to do an event like this. Obviously, we still kept with COVID restrictions, but even being kind of in our own place compared to a local park or something like that, we had freedom to bring in the things that we needed to, and we could kind of, tear the place up a little bit as needed. So it was a huge blessing to be able to get out there. And man, the event was a huge win. A crazy fact about it is that we had just as many students there this year as we did last year in non-COVID season. And so I think, man, the hunger for being actually in person with people, our students were feeling it. God brought a lot of students out there that weekend. It was awesome just seeing the sea of cars parked on the property there and our meetings happening nearby. Our main content was our crew staff team leader, Scott Berkey. He spoke on the parable of the treasure in the field. We had lots of games and events that were all kind of socially distance oriented, but still lots of fun. We had kickball, we had obstacle courses, things like that. Students had a blast. You could just feel the momentum both on our staff team and also with students in our movement coming off of that event. It just felt like, man, what a big win. And in COVID season, we have learned to, I think, be thankful for just the little things that God does, the little things that God provides for us, almost like we're looking for anything to be excited about because there's so much change, so much is done differently. But this felt like a huge win. It blew away our expectations, both in the number of students, the way the students were talking about it after. Yeah, it was a huge win and a big momentum builder going into the rest of the semester. And so we were incredibly thankful that even though we're not able to move there for a little while, we were really thankful to have this place to host these students. And we've actually already got a few more events planned late this fall. And we're excited to use this new place for that. That's one of the main reasons that we're moving out there. So we want to use it for God's glory in ministry with students. And we're excited that there's not even a house there. And yet we are excited that we're already getting to do that just a few months into it. Uh-oh, does it have the steamed? Oh, it's short.
You ran into something. You ran in. Walking down the camera.
Another big highlight of this semester has been this past weekend, a disciple of mine named Brian got baptized at our church. I've gotten to disciple and spend time with Brian over the last year and a half or so. He has become just a good friend of mine. I love spending time with him. He has grown dramatically in his walk with God over that time period, having just become a Christian relatively recently. He asked me to read his baptism testimony to the church, and then he was baptized there up front. It was just a thrilling thing to be a part of for me. Yeah, I love Brian a lot, and I'm excited to he's only a sophomore, I'm excited to get 2 more years with him here at U of I. That was definitely a highlight of this semester. It probably will be for the school year as well. Another thing that just happened is this past week I helped put on our annual mental health night at Cru. This is where once a year on a Thursday night we bring in some counselors, some local counselors to come in and speak to our students about mental and emotional health, anxiety, depression, suicide, things like that. It's an unfortunate reality that we need to talk about it every year, but it's definitely well worthwhile. We actually just had a student on campus, not involved with Cru, but still a student on campus this past week commit suicide. And so, yeah, it's well worth talking about. Each and every year, students really respond well to it. We think it's a great resource, even just to get some local counselors in front of students. These are Christian counselors who we trust. We think it's great just getting them kind of in front of students and even giving students a face that they can go pursue meeting with, getting the help that they need.
So when I think about college students, I really believe that there are a lot of unique factors that impact college students' mental health that don't necessarily apply to a lot of other demographics. So when I think about college students, I think of this transition toward increased independence, pressure to perform really well academically, sort of grappling with new values and beliefs, trying to figure out your future. A big one is being cut off from your support system back home and trying to build a new support system in college. There are all these different factors that impact and can often lead to mental health challenges with college students.
Yeah, we think it's a really great resource for students, and it was a really, really great night. So a few specific things you guys can be praying for. One would be an upcoming freshman event that I am in charge of. Basically, it is going to be a miniature version of our fall retreat, geared specifically just for freshmen. So we would love for maybe the 30 or 40 freshmen who are involved in our movement. We'd love to get them together. It's going to be out at our new place as well. We'd love to get them together, build them up in community, cast vision for the rest of their next 4 years, basically here at U of I. But yeah, equip them to walk with Jesus as a movement, draw them together. Yeah, and hopefully it'll also be a really great time of community building, fellowship, and a lot of fun for them as well. And so that's coming up. That's November 7th. And so one of the biggest prayer requests for it would be that it would be warm, that it wouldn't be freezing cold. I know it's late in the year, and unfortunately we have to do everything outside because of COVID. And so just pray that it would be at least warm enough in the middle of the day for us to have our kind of a few hours together event with these freshmen. Yeah, they would really catch the vision, be drawn together as a freshman class. But we're so thankful for you guys, thankful for your prayers, thankful for your investment in students here at U of I. You are affecting the eternities of students and even the people that students will be connected to and impacting for the sake of Jesus for years and years to come in the future. We are so thankful for you guys, thankful for how you are a part of this ministry and a part of that vision. We love you guys.